Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to part 10 of the Metasploit Mega Primer. In this video, we will look at the phase of post-exploitation where we deal with log deletion and AV killing. So this, if you remember, is the third phase of post-exploitation where the whole idea is to kill all monitoring softwares and then to delete the logs. So why is this important? Well, this is to ensure that our entire break-in goes undetected, right? So killing monitoring software includes killing antivirus softwares, personal firewalls, host-based intrusion detection systems if applicable. How would we go about doing this? Well, there's a Metasploit script called kill AV which will kill all the different antivirus software. It has a huge list which it supports and we'll go with that. But you'll notice that there are some interesting issues which creep up and then I'll teach you how to solve them. Then we'll actually look at cleaning all the logs which include the event application and security logs on a Windows system. So without further ado, let's go to our setup. Now the victim here is a Windows XP Service Pack 3 machine which has the latest version of AVG installed with all the updates, everything. This is AVG version 9, free version. And the hacker machine, as always, is the backtrack machine. So let's go ahead, run the browser. Now we're using client-based exploits, and this is a vulnerable version of Internet Explorer. But you'll notice something very interesting shortly. Just wait for the exploit to work its way out. Now, because of the AV, a threat has been detected. Let's go ahead, click on move to vault, but something interesting happens. The browser crashes, but by that time, Metasploit has been clever enough to migrate us into a new process which is notepad.exe. Awesome. So we have an available Metasploit session with us. Let's go ahead, connect to that session. Let's see who we are. We are the admin account, which is great. Now, one of the first things, of course, you'd like to do is go ahead and escalate your privileges. So we'll run the local privilege escalation exploit. Now, once again, something very interesting happens. Because we are using a well-known exploit, the file which it creates in order to go ahead and do the exploit is caught by AVG and the exploit does not work. Now, this is where what one needs to do is look at other avenues. So we will use the priv extension and then go ahead and use the get system command. Now this uses various different ways. Most of it actually is based on named pipe impersonation and token duplication. We'll go ahead, let it run its course. Awesome. So using the first technique, which is named pipe impersonation in memory, it was able to get system privileges without triggering the AV in any way, right? Great. So from here, the first thing we want to do is go ahead and kill the antivirus itself, right? So how do we do that? Well, there's an interesting Metasploit script called kill AV. So let's go ahead, run the script. Awesome, it says it's killed the antivirus services. Let's go back here. Oops, but if you notice, AVG is still up and running. Let me do a quick PS, and I'm actually seeing a lot of processes with the AVG prefix, which definitely means they were not killed. Now, let me actually look at what happened. If I look at run the command again, it basically kills two processes, emc.exe and rsx.exe, which is this one and this one. There seems to be a couple of others which have not been killed. Right? So now one of the possibilities is that we go ahead and modify the Metasploit script. So let me go ahead and do that. I am in the Metasploit directory, inside the Metasploit directory. Now within this, all the scripts are available. Let me look at the kill AV script. Now notice at this point you still do not need to know any Ruby to edit this script. It's very self-explanatory. There is this huge list of exe files which correspond to different antivirus software, and I'm sure all this does is searches for each one of these. So it is actually calling get processes to figure out all existing processes in the system, does a match for the name of the executable with this list. If it finds a match, it goes ahead and issues a process kill command, right? So let's go ahead and look at the entries for AVG. And if you notice, these are the ones for AVG, right? A couple of them are here. Now I want to find out the full list of processes here. So let me go ahead and try to do it in a much more easier way. So here is what I can do. The ps command is being run. It gives us this output. Let me quickly go up here at the very top and start looking at the different AVG program. So this seems to be one AVG CHSVX, which is not available here. So let me go ahead and add it. Right. The next one seems to be this one, AVG WDSVC. There's nothing but the AVG watchdog service. Doesn't seem to be here. Actually, there isn't a problem even if you add the same entry twice. It's just that it will not be able to kill it twice, but that's okay. We are happy even if it can kill it once. Then you have something called AVG NSX, right? Then you have AVG tray.exe, which is probably the icon which you see there on the tray. And let me scroll down here. Another very easy way to locate is the directory from which where they are being loaded. And we have the last couple of them here, AVG EMC, which I think is on the list. Here it is. Then we have AVG CSRV.exe. CSRV doesn't seem to be on the list. Let me add it. As I said, no harm even if you add it twice. AVG RSX seems to be on the list. Here it is. And then finally AVG CSRVX is already here, right? Let me remove this line, save the script and run kill AV. So this is our new modified kill AV, by the way. So now it is going ahead and killing all these processes. Let me do a quick PS, but you'll notice something interesting, that the processes are reappearing once again. All of them. Let me kill it once again. Let me run a PS. But you'll notice again new set of processes have been created with new PIDs, right? Which actually means somehow the script is not able to kill them totally. And the processes are being respawned as soon as they are being killed. Right? So let me, the AVG tray has been killed, but the AVG software itself is currently still running in memory. So if we just sort it, you'll look at all these different softwares which are nothing but AVGs. Right? So it seems like the Metasploit script is not working. Let's investigate further into how to make this work. So let's quickly execute a command shell on the remote system. Probably create a separate channel for this one. And then let me go ahead and interact with that channel. Awesome. So the first thing I want to look at is the different processes, right? And this can be accomplished using the task list command. So this is the list of different processes running on the system currently. We'll probably want to look at more details because I'm very sure that AVG must be running as a service. Now, in order to look at some details about which of these processes are running as services, we'll just use the same command, which is task list, and go ahead and give it an option. So before that, let's actually do a question mark and even look at all the different options. So what we really want is display services in each process, which is /svc, right? So task list /svc will now give us a list of processes and the services. So if you notice, AVG WSVC, which is the watchdog service, the watchdog program is actually running as the AVG 9WD service, and AVG EMC, if I am correct, is basically the email verification service. This is what detects spam and malware in your email. That is running as AVG 9EMC. Now even this looks a bit cluttered. I just want to look at all processes with AVG as the prefix. So for that, we'll use the find utility. It's very simple. Find /i is what needs to be given with the string. So let's run this again. Task list /svc, and from here we go ahead and pipe this into find /i, and where we basically want AVG, all lines to be printed which has AVG in them, right, to begin with. Awesome. So now we get a distilled list of all the services which are responsible for the antivirus AVG program to be running. Now let's go ahead and investigate more about these two, because this is what look more interesting to me. So what is probably happening is that these services are the ones which are respawning these other processes. Okay. So let me quickly go ahead and figure out. So in order to investigate more about these services, we use the sc command and give it a parameter called query ex, and then go ahead and give it the name of the service. Right, so this is dumping something here. Let me actually run it for the other service as well, and then we'll get into what all this means. The other is AVG 9EMC. Okay, for some reason this channel seems to have hung. Let me go ahead and terminate this channel and start a new one and run the command again. So these are all interesting things which will happen when you're basically in the field, right? So we'll have to always learn to work across them. You might not get a perfect session all the time, and you might have to go ahead and reconnect multiple times as well. Okay, we are out. Let's quickly go ahead and create a new session. Hey guys. a small crash because I ran out of battery. Okay, I'm back to exactly the same place we were, running the second sc query ex command on the service. Now the sc command along with this option tells us more about the service in question. The first one is basically the AVG watchdog service, and this is more about the email service, which it checks various emails, etc. Now the thing to note here is that the AVG 9 EMC service, the state is running, it is stoppable, not pausable, and except shutdown. But if you look at the AVG 9 WD service, it is not stoppable, not pausable, and except shutdown. Right? So what is interesting here is a service which is stoppable can very easily be stopped by using the net stop and the service name command. Okay, so we are stopping one of the AVG services. Awesome, right? So the AVG free email scanner service is stopped successfully. But what you will note is a not stoppable service cannot be stopped by using the net stop command. It says requested pause or stop is not valid for this service simply because it is not stoppable. So this is where the problem area comes in. Now the AVG watchdog service is the one which is creating all the new AV services and processes once we are killing each one of them, right? So what do we do? How do we go ahead and stop this service to ensure that once we kill all the existing processes, no new ones are created? Well, to do this, we'll do something very interesting. First of all, we will go ahead, use the sc command and actually disable it. So here's the command. Use the config option, give it the service name. So this is where we are actually using the sc command to change the services configuration, right? And then we mention start is equal to disabled. Now what this does is very interesting. It goes ahead and disables the service from getting restarted once again. Right, so it says service change service config success and the AVG 9 EMC service, and we also had to do this for the AVG watchdog service, which is 9WD, right? Start is equal to disabled, right? Awesome. So now that both of these services, especially the watchdog service, is disabled, once it is killed, it will not restart. So how can you kill it? Well, one of the easier options is just to go ahead and shut down and restart the system, because the watchdog service will automatically get shut down, of course, when the system shuts down. And the next time we restart, it will not be started because we have disabled it from getting started automatically, right? But we need some solution right now. So what we are going to do is, first of all, figure out what is the process ID of this existing service, kill it along with all other AVG processes, and let's see what happens. So to do this, we will use the task kill command. If we look at the usage, what we'll do is we'll actually force a kill, and then we'll go ahead and give some description, which is AVG, all the AVG services, right? We are giving a wildcard, and then let's go ahead and run this command. Okay, so if you notice now, all the different services which were running under the AVG star have been killed. Now let's go ahead and once again ensure, figure out the process ID if AVG 9WD is still existing, right? So what we'll do is once again use the task list command, and let's just actually just use task list by itself. And if you notice now, many of the AVG processes which we had seen, none of them exist, right? So this is the only one existing here. And all the other processes have been killed. So we can go ahead, run the task list command so that we know if there are any specific services existing, and then we can pipe it to our find and give it AVG. Right, so this is the only one which is currently left, which we can go ahead and kill forcefully, mentioned by PID, which is 1220. Right, and if you notice, the process ID has been terminated once and for all. Now let's actually exit this prompt, go back to Metasploit, do a quick PS, and now what you would notice is that there are no AVG processes, right? Seems to be no AVG processes on the system anymore. Awesome. And this you can also see from the right hand side that there are no files which are loaded using AVG, right? And now if we go back to our VirtualBox environment, you will notice that the whole AVG system tray icon, everything has disappeared. Even if you look at the task manager, I think everything has been killed, right? We just sort it. You won't find any more AVGs here. And just to verify, if we actually go to the control panel, administrative tools, and then look at the different services, we should actually find that AVG has been disabled. So this seems to be the first AVG free scanner which we had disabled, if you remember. And if you notice, it has been disabled. The other one is the AVG watchdog process. This is also disabled, right? Awesome. So I guess what we've tried to understand here is that even if the kill AV script does not work, it is possible to figure out how to actually kill the antivirus even if manually. If any of you have the time, or probably I would at some point, go ahead and submit a patch for the kill AV script as far as AVG is concerned, right? So basically the whole idea is to locate the antivirus services which are running. The ones which are running as cannot be stopped should be the ones where we first disable the service and then kill the processes running. Okay. So now going back to our presentation, the next thing which we wanted to look at was actually to run a script called run get countermeasures. Right? Now this script gives us some information about the different firewall configurations and the DEP policy, etc. DEP is nothing but data execution prevention. We'll talk about this in later stages, right? And now because AVG is not running, even the AV is not shown here. Awesome. Now the second part was actually going ahead and deleting all the logs. But before that, let's try and understand where the logs actually are. So in the same administrative tools folder, if you click on event viewer, you should actually see an event viewer which has a lot of information, right? So if you notice here, this is one of the events I think we triggered. We tried to kill a lot of these services, and there has been some problem here, right? Similarly here, couple of these events have been raised. From a security perspective, nothing seems to be shown. From a system perspective, once again, a lot of events have been raised. So now, depending on what hack we used, our event may or may not get logged here, right? But it might be a good practice to go ahead and delete this event logs completely. Well, how do you do that? There's a simple command available. If you kind of scroll up, at the very beginning, you have something called clear event log. So let me look at the various options. Oops. I think once you run it, it goes ahead and deletes all the logs by default, right? So if I go ahead and actually view the logs right now, you would notice that all the logs have been deleted, right? Apart from this one entry, which got added right now because of what we did, I guess. Anyway, this doesn't convey anything. So this is how, using the clear ev command, which is nothing but clear events, all your application system as well as security events logged on your Windows system can be deleted immediately, right? So let's get back to our presentation. So in this video, we learned how to go ahead and kill AV processes and do log deletion. One of the interesting things which we did was, even though the kill AV script did not kill the AVG antivirus as required, we were able to figure out how to kill it eventually. Right, so in the next video, we will look at the next phase of post-exploitation, which is actually how to go ahead and collect different data and execute programs on the victim, right? So that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, I would request you to please leave your comments behind. That is what keeps me going. So that's all. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.